Start recording now. So we missed two positions, huh? It's okay. So look at this position again. White has got two pawns up, right? So that way his advantage is clear, but it is not so clear because one pawn is about to fall. Okay, the pawn which is about to queen itself is about to fall. So somehow white, and the rook is also under attack. So if he saves the rook, then the pawn will fall. So there is something, right? I mean, what you have to do. There is no easy way to save the pawn and the rook at the same time. Yeah, what is the move? Sorry. What is the move that you are saying? Rook to b6, huh? Rook to b6. Idea is good. If you take it, then this one, right? Right. Rook to c6 also, huh? But what happens if king simply comes to d7? King simply comes to d7. But idea is good. I like the idea. Yeah, you can. So let us look at this. So you should go, see, whenever such a chance is there, now you should go as far away from the king as possible, because whatever is your idea of the checking, all of that is still valid from a file, right? There is nothing preventing it. But you will see it why this is important now, going so much away from the king. Okay. Now white will, black will take the pawn. Okay. Take the pawn. Now why does white play this? d6. We'll come to this. Okay, but the move is actually d6. Okay, and king will come to, why not check? Okay, we'll see it, but first see this idea. Okay, see this. Now if king comes to, if king goes back, see, if king is come to e6, now it is very easy. Now you will give the pawn, push the pawn, check, discovered check, right? And king has to take the pawn, otherwise it will queen, or king has to go here. If king goes here, then also queen, king takes it. Now you will realize why the distance between the rook and the king is important, because now this check is there, king is coming to c7, and now you can safely check the king from a7 and then pick the rook, right? This is the entire solution. Now okay, so now we wanted to show you what happens if directly check, right? If you directly give the check, then king comes to d6. Now what happens? You capture the rook, then it's a stalemate, right? So idea was right, but there was a tactical problem with that. So black's rook was actually safe on h7 because of this stalemate threat. Now because it was safe on h7, you had to find some other way. Okay, that some other way was possible only if your rook was on a6. If it was on b6 or c6, as you had said, then you would not be able to finally check the king from the distance. Okay, everything else. See, idea is safe. d6, king does not want to capture. King does not want to come to d7 right now. Also, king wants to delay it as much as possible, because what happens if see here at this position, what are the other options for black? Right? If king goes to d7, then anyway rook a7 will pick up the rook on h7. If king goes to the last rank, then also rook will check it, king will come up again, then again the rook will check it, and then will pick up the rook, right? So king cannot remain on the 7th or the 8th rank. So king has to come to the 6th rank. And after king comes on the 6th rank, again pawn gives a push. Again, you cannot take the pawn. If you take the pawn, then check will pick up the rook. So king has to simply go back now. And he has to go back because otherwise the pawn is queening. Pawn anyway queens. Anyway, you take the queen. But now you give the check and see, now you realize king is coming to c7, right? So you need that distance. This again is a very important aspect in rook and pawn versus rook endgames, which we will study in the L4. Okay, but this distance from the king is a very important factor. Yes, that is right, Nandan. You have to sack the pawn because otherwise stalemate threat is there. You simply cannot win the rook and try to win the game because black king gets a stalemate. So only way is to sack the pawn. Then there is no threat stalemate, and then you can win the rook. Okay. So all these 6 studies were very instructive. So again, go through them 2 or 3 times, understand it, and then your big task is how many puzzles are there. Utilize how to solve chess problem. 91 puzzles are there. Okay, probably you will take 2 weeks to solve. Okay. Okay, Uday, some game between you and Madhura. Okay, all right. Will be good to show it. I think you can make.
Sir, that game went in a draw when I could have won.
Oh, is it okay? Because of stalemate or what? It became a draw because of stalemate, or okay, all right, good, all right. So that is that. Now, what we will do is we will go back to our 2 positions, right? 2 positions. Yeah, this is level 1 class. Level 4 position series and F2, right? F2 position number 5 we had looked at it, and 6 also we had looked at it. Today we will look at number 7. Number 7. Yeah. White to move. Look at it carefully. Rook takes bishop. Yeah, that is right. And what is the idea of rook takes bishop? Queen will take the rook, na? Then why should that be good for white? Giving up the exchange.
So pawn moving it forward. So to d7.
No, I think let us look at it. Nandar has some. Queen takes what? Queen takes
Sack
queen.
your queen
Okay.
and then push the pawn.
Yeah, that's the idea. See, Nandan has got it right. See, idea is, see, there is a weakness of back rank, and the pawn on d6 is about to queen. Okay, and okay, it's not a back rank. I would say rather there is a queening threat. Pawn will queen. Okay, just 2 steps away, and there is not enough thing. So rook takes b7, rook takes b2, rook takes the captures the bishop is a diversionary tactic. Okay, so queen will go away from the c file, and then queen 10 can take the rook. Knight will have to take the queen, but then pawn will push to d7, and it's a very interesting position. Knight, there is no way that the knight can defend itself at the same time defending the d8 pawn to d8 queen also, and there is no way for the queen also to defend both the threats. The threats, so look at it: rook to b2, queen to b2, queen to c8 check, knight to c8, d7. Now there are two threats: d7 takes c8 and queen, or d7 to d8 equal to queen. Both threats are there, and together both threats cannot be prevented no matter what you do. Even if you have your queen, but wherever you want to move the queen, you move it and just see. You cannot prevent both the threats, right? just I don't want to, I mean, I will resist the temptation to put this on the analysis board. Please learn to think, play out the moves in your head with the position. Rook takes b2, right? Queen takes b2 is forced, otherwise you are one piece down. In fact, you will become a second piece down because the b6 knight is also attacked. So queen takes b2 is forced. Then queen takes c8, knight takes c8, then d7, right? Now d7, and after this it is very, no, queen cannot go to c1. How can queen go to c1? If rook takes b2, queen c1, the other rook will capture it, right? Ah, you are saying that, oh, okay, okay. Fine. Yeah. Rook takes b6, yeah. Rook takes b6. So that is what it is. Everyone got it? Key move was at d7, and after everything, now d7 move is a very strong move because it has, because the knight is also on c8, right? So the pawn can capture and become a queen, as well as just push forward and become a queen. That is the key part here, right? It has got a diversion, it has got a decoy also together, and it has got multiple things are there in together. Decoy plus diversion. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else has any doubts about this position? No? Shall we go to the next one? Next one is also very interesting position. White to move.
So move the pawn 2 steps in the front, so the one in front of the king.
To where?
So to g4.
Pawn to g4 will be a check, right?
Yes, sir.
So pawn to g4 will be a check. So what should the king do? If the king comes to h4, then
Queen takes h7, h6.
queen takes h6. Why queen takes h6? If you queen takes h6, the black queen will take the h6.
Sir, this one I was not able to figure out.
See, there is an idea. Who said bishop to f2? Yeah, bishop to f2 is a good idea, but then king will take the h3 pawn, right?
Then queen d4.
Queen d4. Okay, let us put this position on Leach's analysis board. Okay, where are the things? Can you someone? Okay, let me remember the pawns on e7, c6, d6, g5, and h6. Okay, I will try to put this. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me just go and just.
Sir, I put the FEN in chat.
You put the okay.
FEN.
Great. All right. Let me just copy it. Chat tools, board editor. Here I will just go here. Okay. All right. Let us look at it. So you said G4, right? Let us just understand what happens if king comes to H4.
Then king to g2.
King to g2. Then unfortunately what happens is black queen comes and starts checking.
Oh. No, then bishop to f2.
Bishop to f2.
After king g2, queen e2 check, bishop f2.
Yes, that is right. Right? So bishop f2 will actually give a, it's not a checkmate, but it will,
Return check.
it will lead to a win because queen will have to be given up, right? So you are right. I think this line is good. Okay. So king to h4 directly if it comes, then
King g2.
king g2, right? King g2. Oh, but there is a knight to f4. Knight to f4. What will you do?
Oh.
Right? King to h2. But now king to h2, if you go now, queen to e2 will not, now bishop to f2 is not a threat now. Right? Bishop will simply get captured and you will get checkmated now. Right? Now it is black who is going to win. So
Bishop to f2 check.
bishop to f2 check, then king to h3. King takes h3.
Yeah, then queen takes h6, checkmate.
Black queen is also there.
Oh, okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
according to the computer, it says the queen should capture the pawn on h6,
Why
right?
did you check? Go to the computer. You are not supposed to go to the computer. Because we have to solve it ourselves, right? Otherwise, we are not going to learn if you go to the computer. We'll go to the computer, but maybe to the very end. After you have tried everything, you have tried a lot, you have spent half an hour on this problem alone and you could not get it, then only you can go to the computer, not before that.
Okay, sir.
So what is the thing? See here, what is happening is, see, you have got both ideas. The ideas are there, but you have to make it concrete. See, bishop to f2 is the right idea. Only thing is that king should not come to h3. Black king should not be allowed to capture the pawn on h3, which means
Sir, what
your-
if f takes g4 after g4 check?
no. But first, you tell me what you will do after king to h4,
Oh.
right? What is the move that you have, right? First move king to gt is not possible because the pawn is on g2, Nandan. So only g4 is right. But if king to h4, okay, then see, you have to realize, see, there is a two things. Bishop to f2 is a good idea. Queen to h6 is also a good idea, but there is a black queen preventing it, right? So there is something there. And for bishop to f2 to work, your king has to be at h2 or g2 safely, right? Then only you are covering the h3 pawn, and then bishop to f2 becomes a checkmate threat, right? King into h2, if you do first king to h2, then the queen will come to e2 and give you a check, and then you will be lost, right? So the whole point is this queen is acting as a very good defensive resource. Okay, on e2 it is coming and giving, yeah.
After in this position, what if you play bishop f2 check?
King h3.
Then pawn takes f5.
Yeah, it's pawn takes f5. Then
And you can't take with the queen.
yeah, you can take with the queen, but
And the queen is after that kind of stuck.
okay,
After
so
that, the queen's stuck.
so you are hitting something. So let me start by capturing the pawn first. Okay, now
H4.
now
H takes g4.
no, yeah, h takes g4 is the right move. H takes g4. King h4. Now
Bishop f2 check.
Bishop F2.
To check, bishop f2 check, bishop f2 check, then king will come to h3.
Then queen d4.
Queen d4, queen d4, what is the idea? What's the idea?
Queen d1, queen f1.
Queen d1, queen f1, that is the idea. Okay, you will, but black queen will,
Knight
Yeah, that's what I thought.
black queen will go to e2.
Then what if you go to g7?
If you go to g7, first white will start by checking, right? Sorry, black will start by checking.
Oh, that's mate.
It's going to be a checkmate, right?
Yes, sir, it's checkmate.
So the idea is this, okay? So I think we are there, but somewhere we have to find, see, there is a diversion that is involved. So black queen has to, you don't want the black queen to come to e2. There is a way that you can divert it in such a way.
Oh, king to f2.
No, not king to f2, then bishop will not get the place to come to f2. Bishop needs to come to f2 to a checkmate. Okay.
Ah.
So the diversion is actually queen to h6 check, sacrificing the queen. Queen to h6. Now king to h2.
h2. But sir, after queen takes h6, what if you don't take back?
Okay, you don't take it, it is a checkmate, right? I mean, it is okay. It is going to become almost this one. So what, you will play king to g3, you will play.
The queen is hanging.
Then queen h2 mate.
Then queen h2 not mate, king will take to this one, but then queen will come to f2.
The queen is hanging on the previous move.
Queen will hang after this.
So when you take the h6 pawn, the queen is hanging.
Yeah,
The black.
queen itself is hanging, right? Yeah, obviously. See, why all of these things? If you don't take it, then white will take the black queen, right? So black is actually forced to take the queen. And king to h2 now. And now see, though the king is like in line with the queen, the black king does not have any square to move to. So there is no discovered check possible. There is no normal check possible. Knight cannot come and give a check. Knight cannot move and block the f2 bishop also. So next move is bishop to f2 checkmate, and there is nothing that black can do. Absolutely nothing. Right?
Okay.
So this was again a very, very interesting study. So very, very instructive, because yeah, you have to spot these ideas and then somehow connect together. Okay, I think you are getting it, because you guys saw that queen h6 something. I mean, queen h6 you did not see this idea, but bishop to f2 I think you saw that, g4 and bishop to f2. Somehow you have to make it work, and there was so it doesn't matter. I think if you do enough problems, then you will know how to make it work. So that sense develops. Okay, so that's why those 91 problems are very important now. So let's go back. So if you do these kind of problems plus the positions that I'm giving, right, these positions are again very, very important positions to study, because they teach you a lot. So this is what you do. All right. Okay, so that is what is there pretty much for this week. I will send out. Oh, you spent 30 minutes but did not. But did you write down? I think you wrote. Did you write down all your main variations? That is very important. Even that will organize your thought, Nandan, and not just Nandan, everybody else. If you are spending 15-20 minutes, right? But you keep writing down what is the best move for white, what is the best move for black in each variation, that you will know, right? And then that way you will be able to do it. Okay, yeah, so the number 8 position was tough. It was not very easy to find. I mean, it was easy once you know the thing, once you know these patterns, but to find it is not that easy. So it's okay. It's not that you have to get every move, but I'll send the next Next 4 positions I will send it for the next 2 weeks tomorrow. Okay, so we'll keep doing it. All right. So let me stop the recording.